edition of NASCAR TTC Garage Talk. We're going to bring you some news about Danica Patrick making it full-time next year in the Nationwide Series, and some other stuff. So let's start off with South of 10, find out what he thinks about the whole Danica Patrick move to full-time in the Nationwide Series, and then I'll get your take.
Well, first off, her going full-time in the Nationwide Series, I'm skeptical about it, you know. We've seen other drivers make the move from Indy or F1 to NASCAR, and they not make a big-time name of it. Not make a big move, you know. The biggest one that has made, you know, a threat to anything is Montoya, and the only time he raises a head is at the road courses. But she...
Or Indy.
Yeah, Indy as well. Yeah, that's right. Her getting her feet wet in the Nationwide Series full time might be her best move to make it a threat in the Cup Series, which she will be doing part time. Her going full time in Cup, give that a few years. That's my thought on it.
Well, honestly, my thought, I don't think she's any good in the IndyCar series. I think she's overrated. I mean, her best finish, I can't remember what her best, I think her best finish may be a top 5, but that's just because, like, everybody might have wrecked out or something in Nationwide Series. I can't really remember. But she's won one race in the last 6 years in the IndyCar series, and that's her whole career in the IndyCar series. She hasn't really ever been a threat to win championships or anything like that in the IndyCar series, and then she wants to come over here where it's been pretty much proven that IndyCar series drivers like Sam Morris Jr., which is one of the greatest IndyCar series in the recent history of the series, and he couldn't really make the move, and then she expects that she can make the move, and she's nowhere near as good as Sam Morris Jr. in the IndyCar series. It just kind of boggles my mind. I just don't see how she can have that much hype.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I don't know how well she did in the Indy series because, you know, I don't keep up with it. You know, so far as Sam Hornets Jr., first time I heard about him was when I heard he was moving to the Cup Series, and frankly, I'm kind of glad he's gone. Because, I mean, I just didn't like him too much.
Yeah, but moving on, let's talk about how the race got rained out today.
I don't know about that much. I just got in from church and found out it was raining. I'm like, well, that's handy.
Yeah, I got out of work, found out it was raining, I was like, man, come on. But I was glad they didn't make it tomorrow because I wouldn't be able to see it because I got to work whenever it would have been.
Same here.
But,
Same here. Well, not work, but I got plans.
Yep. And so, who do you think's going to make the chase? Let's move on to that.
Oh Lord. Well, the top 4 or 5 are pretty much a deadlock, and the rest of the field, I really don't see much of a change happening. Stewart and Dale Earnhardt Jr. may squeak in, but I wouldn't be none too surprised if one or both either don't make it.
Right now, Denny Hamlin and Brad Keselowski have the wild card spots. Unless something drastic happens, it's looking right now like it's going to be, as much as I'd hate to say it, Kyle Busch, and then Jimmy Johnson, Matt Kenseth, Carl Edwards, Kevin Harvick, Jeff Gordon, Ryan Newman, Kurt Busch, and if Dale Jr. can just keep getting consistent finishes up there in the top 15, top 10, he'll be in. And then if Tony Stewart can just keep doing the same thing or even get a win, then he'll get in. Then there's your top 10. And then as of now, unless somebody else in the top 20 gets a win, it's going to be Brad Keselowski and Denny Hamlin.
Well, I feel tomorrow, well, this week's race, whenever they do get it in, which, how many races we got to the chase? 2? Ain't that right?
Yes.
Oh, well,
Yep.
The Atlanta race, I think, is probably going to, if I had to pick a driver, Keselowski. And he's going to make one person, $1 million richer along with a charity and himself. In Richmond, I probably see, Danny Hamlin comes to mind. So, that right there is probably going to make up your chase right there, because he's going to get his extra win.
Yep, that's very true. And you're right. The wild card spot, it's taken. The 11th spot is taken. Brad Keselowski is in.
Yeah.
Unless he falls out of the top 20, which is not possible because there's only 2 races left. He's got 3 wins and he's sitting there in 11th with that wild card spot. He's in.
He's in it, yeah. He's locked.
Unless he was to make it in the top 10, then you could give it away. But that wild card spot is Brad Keselowski's if he doesn't get in.
Yeah.
So Denny Hamlin, it looks like he's going to get it too, but
I know who's not going to make it in.
Even still get it.
I don't see that happening. I don't see Martin getting in the chase. I mean, he struggled too much, too long. I just don't see a turnaround happening in his next 2 races for him to be even a threat for the chase. And I hate that.
Yeah, but maybe he'll become a team owner next year.
No.
Or even end up coming back with his own team.
Nope. I don't see that happening either. I see this happening. We all know Danica Patrick's going to be doing part-time in the Cup Series next year. Who's going to fulfill that seat while she's not in it? I think Mark Martin will. Mark Martin will be joining Stewart Haas Racing next year, part-time.
That's a very good prediction. I could see it happening. It's a Hendrick affiliated team.
Yep.
So that would make very good sense. But I think it's time that we need to wrap up this first edition of Garage Talk. So please put down my tools and quit working on the race cars, and it's time to get out of here and go eat some dinner or something.
Oh, yeah.
Until next time, this was Touchdown Tennessee 16 and
South of 10.